Hi, this is Mr. V. Welcome to this video series on interest. In this video I'm going to show you how to calculate interest using the simple interest formula. So here's the simple interest formula. I, which is the interest, equals P, which is the principal, times I, which is the interest rate, times N, the number of years. Which is easy to remember because that spells PIN. Where we need to know the total amount repaid or the actual amount repaid, we use this equation, A equals P plus I, which simply says that we're going to add the principal and the interest we earned, which is fairly simple. Okay, so here's an example. Use the formula to calculate the amount of interest that Julia would pay if she borrowed $7,500 at 8.3% simple interest for 5 years. So the first thing I write down is my rule. My rule is I equals P I N. And I want to know what each of my values are, P, I, and N. So I'm going to list them off. P is my principal, which is the amount borrowed or invested. And when we look at our question, Julia borrowed $7,500. So that is my principal. I is the interest rate. And we're told here that we have 8.3% simple interest. So that's my interest rate, 8.3%. And I want to change that into a decimal, because we always use the interest rate as a decimal in our calculations. So to do that, I'm going to take 8.3 and divide it by 100 equals 0.083. 0.083. N is the length of the loan, the duration of the loan, in years. And we're told that this loan is for 5 years, so N is going to be 5. We're going to substitute that into our equation. 7,500 times 0.083 times 5 equals, and I'm going to use my plastic brain, 7,500 times 0.083 times 5 equals $3,112.50. And that is the interest that Julie would pay. Just double checking my question now using the formula. Yep, that's our answer, so we're done. Second question. Find the quarterly interest paid when Hassan invests $16,000 in bonds paying 7.5% interest. Similar question, there's a slight difference. So again, I'm going to start with my rule, I equals PIN. I'm going to list PIN down my side. P is the principal, and we have Hassan investing $16,000. That's my principal. He's paying 7.5% interest, 7.5%, which is 0.075 as a decimal. And here we have N. Now, the term is a quarter, so we're paying quarterly interest. But we need to know what the term is in number of years. Now, quarterly means we have a quarter of a year. So N is going to be 1 divided by 4. 1 quarter out of 4 quarters per year, which is 0.25. Put that into my calculation. I equals 16,000 times 0.075 times 0.25 equals, and I'm going to put that on my calculator, 16,000 times 0.075 times 0.25 equals 300. So Hassan gets paid $300 every fortnight.